Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to Mathematical Induction, our new topic. So let's an example here. We do with an experiment, conduct a basket of mangoes. You want to check whether they are raw or ripe, but find out by observing the mangoes individually. So we start the process. We pick up the mangoes from the basket and observe it. Let's see if we find the mango to be raw. Then we pick up another mangoes from the basket, observe it and find that it's raw as well. Many of us conclude that all the mangoes in the basket are raw. What exactly are we doing here? The assignment to a couple of mangoes in the basket and accordingly arrive to check the conclusion. What is it conclusion? These analyze the idea by saying that all the mangoes in the basket are raw. So by observing a specific outcome of the experiment, we conclude the observation in general life is false. This is proof of reasoning from specific to general. It is called inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is logically true, but may or may not be realistic true. What does that mean? Let's consider an example. In first statement, mangoes is fruit, and second, the box is full of fruit. So these both are specific statement. But when we go with the conclusion on that, so conclusion, the box is full of mangoes. That is a general conclusion, but the conclusion is wrong, although logically true can be false. So if the basket contains any other of fruits, it is logically true but not definitely true. So that is called inductive reasoning. On the other hand, we have deductive reasoning. So that is general argument to specific conclusion. Inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning here. So deductive reasoning, if we take an example here, all the mangoes are fruit, that is general statement. All fruits have seeds, general statement. And if we draw conclusion from these two statements, so that is mangoes have seeds, so that is specific conclusions. So logically it is true and realistically it is true according to the conclusion. So if you look at these two, deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning, so take a few seconds to review both cases. So now let's go back to inductive reasoning. Mango is a fruit, specific statement. The box is full of fruit, specific statement. So by observing the pattern that exceed in the particular case, this is due to in general. So these conclusions from that from this conclusion we arrive that inductive reasoning is conjecture. The conjecture is hypothesis that is not be proven, but just we observe the pattern. So in many cases doesn't mean it's true for all cases. The conjecture must be proved for that particular case. To prove such conjecture, the principle of mathematical induction, very first thing we have to think about the conclusion, because whenever any question arises in your mind, so always there will be a conclusion. So conclusion, if you draw any conclusion, there is two ways of drawing the conclusion, either mathematical or scientific conclusion. Okay, so either we will think about the mathematical way, how it will be happen. Scientific way means experiment. If any experiment will be done on this conclusion, it will be true or false. So that is considered as our reasoning, because every question in behind there will be a reasoning. There is a reason behind any question. There is a reason behind any answer. So this reasoning is divided into basically two parts. One part is induction, second part is deduction. So what is induction? Induction means you have particular values given to you. You have to make the general value. Like in your EP series, when you have done in class 10th, you have some series is given to you and difference is seen. Okay. According to that, you will draw the nth term. You will find the nth term. So that is general solution, because if you put any value in that formula, nth term formula, you will get the next number of your series. So that is induction. Okay, and what is reduction? General to particular. If you have formula is given, how will you draw the particular value? Any value, if you calculate any value from the formula, so that is a reduction. Here we are going to make the general solution. Okay, so when you are going to make the particular to general solution, very first step, you will draw some observation in some points where you have to draw your AP series, GP series, some patterns. So that is your observation where you are going to do the experiment. Okay, after experiment you will find the tentative concluded conjectures. What is conjecture? Either it will be true or either it will be false. So how mathematical induction will help us in this reasoning? Principle of mathematical induction helps to prove these conjectures which are true. One is your mathematical statement and another is notation for mathematical statement. Mathematical statement that is already proved, like 6, if it is written 6 is an even natural number, so that is my statement which is true. Okay, but if we go for the notation means if it is n into n plus 1, if we consider this one is divisible by 2, that means in place of n you will apply any value in place of n, any integral value, so that number, whatever number you get it here, that will be divisible by 2. So that is depend upon the number which you apply it here. Okay, so suppose n is equal to 3 plus 1 4 into 3 12, that is divisible by 2, so which is true for any natural number n. Okay, so there is another notation, n square plus n is an even integer. Either we call it as an even integer or multiple or divisible by 2, because any even integer is multiple or divisible by 2. So how mathematical induction will help in this case to prove this notation whether it is true or not. Whatever this conclusion is there, whatever this conclusion is true or not. So for that, what we will do? So first we take this as p value. If you replace n value is equal to 1. Okay, so 1 square plus 1, that gives me 2. So 2 is an even integer or multiple of 2. So that means if you put n is equal to 1, so p1 is an even integer. So in the first step we can say that for n is equal to 1, my p1 is true. Okay, now if for n is equal to 1, my p1 is true, now I check for pk. So pk means if we take any integer in the variable form, so it will be also true for this. So for pk, if we go with pk, so that will be in place of n, we will replace k square plus k. So that means that if for the 1 is an even integer, if you substitute here k as even number and here as even number, your result will be even number. So we can consider k square plus k, and we can take 2 common, because any even integer you can take 2 common, and here lambda. So what is the lambda? Lambda is any natural number. Okay, or you can consider because if you multiply by 2 with any natural number, that give you even number. So we can say that this lambda is any integer. That is any integer. Check the condition. Is it true for pk plus 1? If it is true for 1 and pk is 2, it is true. It is also true for pk. Okay. Now whether it will true for pk plus 1 or not. Now what you will do, in place of n you will replace k plus 1. So that is k plus 1 whole square and k plus 1, because my term was n square plus n. So in place of n you replace k plus 1, because this is plus k plus 1. So if I separate here k, because no need to add this one because I need this value. Okay, k square plus k you separated. So what will be left? 2k plus 2. Separate this term. So this, in place of this, we will substitute our this first equation. That is k square plus k is equal to 2 lambda. That we already done in our second step. K square plus k is equal to 2 times lambda. So that is 2k plus 2. Now if you take 2 common, lambda plus k plus 1. So if any number you multiply with 2, so that is considered as even number or even integer or multiple by 2 or multiple of 2 or divisible by 2. So in that case our pk plus 1 statement will be also true if 2 is common here. Okay, so next is